What is going on? Welcome to another edition of Any Given Sunday. It is the end of the week for some, the beginning of the week for others. But for me and Brodny, it is time to get it started. How you doing today, B?
Doing all right, man. It's gonna be a real quick one tonight. Uh, there's not really a whole lot going on to discuss, so we're gonna be in and out.
Where's the energy? Like,
15 minutes.
I mean, even if this show were to be 15 minutes, where's the energy? Like,
It's all inside. I'm waiting. I'm ready to go.
wow, would you have
I
something to do after
don't. I
this?
don't. No, I don't. I know. I'm saying I'm ready to go with the show. We don't use the energy in the intro. You gotta save it for the topics.
You are absolutely correct. And listen, I'm not going to lie to you. There is not much to talk about right now as things have slowed down, but this is the beginning of where the off season begins to pick up.
So, Dre, I got all of your emails today.
Every last one of them. Before we begin the show, I want to give a shout out to somebody. I don't normally give shout outs, but I just feel a special
Stop
need.
texting and driving, Yolanda.
Who's tech? Oh, she's really good at that. I mean, she's really bad at doing that. But listen, I got to give a shout out though, Brodny. Listen, I'm going to give a shout out to a Troy Hackley. Yesterday, one of the patrons, Marcus Payne, he sent me a message talking about that he met this gentleman that has his own sports show in Baltimore. And I'm like, really? I must be really out of touch because I don't know about these things. So he sent me the guy's information. And luckily enough for me, the show comes on at 12:30 a.m. on Sundays. So I was able to catch it last night and see what was going on. And the name of the show is Urban Sports Beat. And I just want to give him a shout out because I watched the segment. And of course, he started it off with chronicling what was going on with the Baltimore City Knights. And if you don't know, I'm a Baltimore City Knight. So of course he has to be a good dude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's back that up a second. What are the Baltimore City Knights?
Baltimore City College Knights. This is high school.
Okay.
And it was a
I
bad.
was confused because you said college too, also.
I did confuse a lot of people, but it was a basketball tournament, county versus the city, and he was going through it. And just when he started off with Baltimore City College, I knew the dude was all right. Like I knew he was about something because I'm like, okay, who wouldn't start the show off with them? But for me personally, watching the show, he was actually giving awards out to people in the city who support his show, who further his cause. And to me, the biggest thing was his message is all about children. It's all about furthering the advancement of children through sports and education. And he had the former mayor on there. Like he's doing a lot of things for these kids. So I just wanted to give him a shout out before we started the show because it was really dope that Marcus ran into him and put me on to this show. So shout out to him, my brother. All right. Let's see who we got in here so we can get up out of here because Brodny apparently has something to do. We got Bazel up in here. Oh, I'm sorry. Talking about OMG. OMG what? It's no news? Yeah, it's no news. Man, Dre's in the house. What's up, Dre? Jay, in and out like the franchise, like the burger, sir. Vegan, that is. Yolanda B's in the house. Good evening. Blackula, what's going on? Tanja Bowman, thank you for dropping by. How you doing, Nana? Appreciate you for coming through. So let's get into this because, like I said, it's not much to talk about. I told Brodny earlier today, let's not do a show. What's up, Chef? Jared, great stream, brother. Robert.
That's what you said to me earlier?
I said, let's not do a stream, Brodny. It's not enough news to even come out with a show. Brodny said, we got to give the people what they want. We got to give them some energy. Listen, there's no basketball on tonight. There are really no show.
I'm not gonna sit here and abide your lies. And
what's going on? How you feeling? Somebody, I can't remember who it was. Somebody said it's not enough information going on out today or the last few days. Let's not do a stream because I've done some videos throughout the week that pretty much stated everything that the Ravens are doing. Now, there are a couple of things that we have not gone over yet. And Brodny said, let's just talk about it. And I said, all right, we're going to come through, give everybody a cool 15 minutes.
You're going to stop lying, though.
All right, give everybody a cool 20 minutes. That's what I said, 20 minutes. And let's just go ahead. But so if you don't know, the Baltimore Ravens started rookie mini camp Friday, I believe. Yeah, it was Friday. Started rookie minicamp. So that got me thinking about the draft and what's going on in the draft. And I have one question for everybody because I keep reading these public, huh?
What was that just popped up?
I'll get to that in a second.
Oh my God.
There have been publications stating the winners and losers of the 2024 NFL draft. And a lot of them stated that Lamar Jackson was a winner of the draft. So my question, was Lamar Jackson a winner from this past draft? Did the Ravens come out on the other side of this, giving Lamar Jackson more help?
No, Lamar wasn't a winner in the draft. What kind of a joke publication wrote that? They got him. They got a second round right tackle and a fourth round wide receiver who can't run routes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I felt the same way. I felt like Lamar didn't get as much help as he could have gotten, but a lot of people believe that he did. Now, Ronnie, you were wondering, what was that flashed up on the screen? It was actually a donation from a man, Jared Green. You see, like, and I don't know what that means. Maybe it's my computer. I don't know. I think I left the local recording on.
Yeah, local recording is on. It popped up when I came in. I was going to ask you about that, but then I didn't. So
yeah, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's really good for streaming.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think I saw it a little too late. Is there a way we can turn it off?
Yeah. I mean, before the show.
Not during the show.
I don't think we can turn it off during the show.
Oh, that's not good.
Topic number 2.
That sucks.
So what's next? What's up,
going on, Coach? How you doing? Topic number 2. Did you not going to expound on it? You're not going to talk about it like.
I talked about there's no possible way that you could come away from that thinking that Lamar was a winner from that draft.
Well, they got him a right tackle. They got him a wide receiver. They got him a backup center.
In the 7th round.
Apparently, he's supposed to be that guy. Like, all of these dudes are supposed to be the dude. I just read something that stated that Rosengarten is supposed to be the next whoever the tackle was from Atlanta. Your boy EDC said that Tez Walker was supposed to be the next Torrey Smith. And I don't know. And listen, you tell me. You in the chat, everybody.
In the 2nd round, then?
I don't know.
I'm just
I mean,
asking. That's where Torrey got drafted.
That's a valid question. But to me, Art meant this to be a compliment. I don't see it as a compliment. Torrey Smith had speed. Torrey Smith made occasional plays, but Torrey Smith dropped a lot of easy balls.
Torrey Smith was I would say a better than decent receiver. And he was also one that Baltimore chose not to re-sign. So what does that tell you that Baltimore thought about Torrey Smith?
I mean, it's a valid question, but I don't know. I just looking at it, I'm just trying to think to myself, where did Lamar Jackson come out of this on a better end? Or are they trying to, as always, make excuses for why they didn't do certain things or make justifications for this is why we went in this direction? This is why we took this guy. This is why we took that guy. And speaking of taking some of those guys, did you notice during the rookie minicamp, some of the guys are actually hurt already?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Bo Braid, he rolled his ankle.
That's Baltimore's favorite thing.
He did, but the most concerning to me is what is it? Rasheen Ali. He has a torn bicep tendon.
Yeah,
they drafted him. They drafted him that way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we knew about that. He got hurt at, I want to say, Senior Bowl. He should be fine for the start of the season, but it's just, why do you keep on drafting injured players?
Right. Well, Robert, Once again, you're wrong. That was Jacoby Jones. So once again,
Robert don't
wrong.
never be knowing nothing, man.
Like, yo, you just be pulling stuff all the time. You're here just to be talking. Like, you don't even research nothing. That was Jacoby. How long you been a Ravens fan? Be real. 2 years since Lamar came in. You can be real. You can be real. We just playing with you, man. Like, just mess with you. What's going on, Killer Cam? Hola. Killer K. What's up? All right. Moving along. We talked about the minicamp. Anything else you want to discuss about the minicamp other than the people being hurt, other than Rosengarten being the next guy to come in and be the right tackle of the future, which I believe. Like, I believe he has the ability.
He did it again.
What did he do now?
30 years. Have you all been a team for 30 years?
We haven't been a team for 30 years, Robert.
All right, then. That's what I thought. But,
brother.
What do I know? I'm just a Panthers fan, so I don't.
we try. We try to give you chances to redeem yourself, atone for your sins, and you just come back with some more. But it's all good.
My man just admitted to being a Browns fan,
didn't he? I mean, that's cool. If you were a Browns fan before
it's not cool, but you could admit it. You don't have to lie.
Before they transitioned, including the Colts.
That's
so wait a minute. So the Colts left in '83, right? Not '93. They left.
Well, who were you a fan of in between? It's weird.
It's crazy. I don't know about all that. Like,
every time I see his name, also, and this is neither here nor there, Robert, and this has nothing to do with you, but every time I see his name, all I can think of is like, why is Aranda Gadsden in the chat? But he's not Aranda Gadsden. He's Robert Orandle, and I'm just like, I don't know. that's just I think just because I'm old now and just random names pop into my head. That's not great.
What's up, Zeke? What's going on? D-Weezy. Listen, Coach, I don't know why you set yourself up for failure, because that's the only thing that happens with the Mets.
Yeah, like the Dodgers said, y'all ain't like us.
Yeah, no. And speaking of failure, let's talk about Andrew Voorhees.
Wow.
Great way to segue. I'm not saying he's a failure. Listen,
incredibly disrespectful.
Listen, I hope he does well. If Andrew does well, Lamar does well. So I'm wishing for the best. My thing is, I was on the Ravens website today, and they were talking about the mini camp, and they were talking about the rookie mini camp and all the players. And they brought up Andrew Voorhees. And somebody in the comment section said, yeah, Voorhees is going to be one of those Ravens Ring of Honor players.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking to myself, from what? What have you seen that's going to put him in that tier with the rest of the Ravens Ring of Honor recipients?
Hey, it could happen.
I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm just asking, listen, outside of Friday, tell me the time you've seen Andrew Voorhees in a Ravens uniform. Because I was looking for pictures.
These things that we're talking about right now are exactly why we have 50 seconds left in this show. We're talking about Andrew Voorhees potentially being in the Ring of Honor when a man hasn't set foot on an NFL football field yet during a professional football game.
This is facts. The only thing that Voorhees has done in the NFL is collect a paycheck. He's cashed a check that says NFL. And he's done his first rookie mini camp. He's done his first mini camp personally. So I don't know. My thing is, hold your expectations. Be like Mad TV. Have lowered expectations. And if he exceeds them, wonderful. Now we can be like, you know what? I thought he was going to be okay, but he's actually great. Instead of setting yourself up for disappointment because we don't know what he's going to look like. So let's stop putting him up there with the Ravens greats already, because a lot of people say, hey, this guy, if he hadn't gotten hurt, he was going to be a 3rd round pick, possibly 2nd, because I had him mocked to the Ravens in the 2nd round. Just because you're a 2nd round pick doesn't mean that you're going to do anything. How many times have the Ravens had a 2nd round pick that amounted to nothing?
And just because somebody puts you in a mock draft doesn't mean that's actually where you're going to go. Remember, a couple of years ago, Malik Willis was mocked in the top 10. In the 3rd round, and he deserved to go in the 7th.
Facts.
So,
Yeah. No, it's 15 minutes. 15 minutes goes by so fast, bro.
It really does, man. That's why I love it so much.
So fast, and there's still people in there. There's still 70 people in here. So we gotta give him a little. Can we give him a little bit more? A tad.
You got 5. Let me get my phone. Y'all got 5 minutes.
This is only gonna be a 20-minute stream. We have no basketball to look forward to. Apparently, baseball's not going well for some people. I don't know why people watch baseball anyway.
Baseball ain't going well for anybody, man. Baseball sucks.
Even
Baseball
the Dodgers.
is garbage.
Even the Dodgers.
The Dodgers are always going to overcome. But I'm saying baseball, they play a bad sport. They play a boring sport that nobody cares about.
Okay.
It is what it is. That's their lot in life, and they're going to be the best at it. But baseball still sucks.
Got it. All right. Well, let's talk about the aftermath of the NFL draft. Let's talk about Let's talk about the repercussions. Let's talk about some of the players that possibly may be on the bubble because of the draft picks that the Baltimore Ravens have brought in. Anybody that comes to mind for you, Brodny?
Did the Suns win any of them games they played in the playoffs this year? But let me know, because you called me a hater when I said they weren't going to win, and I have not had a chance to check yet. How did that series go?
I didn't get to see either. I mean, y'all had 3 All-Stars. But
one of them arguably a top 10 player all time.
All time. Did y'all get one of them?
Did you win any of those contests against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have never won anything?
Facts. I mean, I have an even better question.
Okay.
Did the Coyotes win? Oh no! They moved to Utah, right?
When their new stadium did, or I'm not sure what you're referring to there.
Oh, listen, Robert. It is unfortunate. Listen, Robert. I'm not saying that you don't care about baseball in Baltimore, but when has it been prevalent? When has it really been important? I can remember 2011, 2010, maybe. Last time was it Roberto Alomar?
Yeah, y'all don't care about baseball in Baltimore. I care about the Ravens.
Yeah, this is no longer a baseball town.
No.
Screw Cal Ripken. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right, bubble players.
What's this bubble players here?
Bubble players. Players that are on the edge of being cut. Yeah. Somebody
based
that you
off
think
of the draft. It's funny because Baltimore, particularly on offense, kind of like protecting their bad offensive players. I was going to say Tylan Wallace, but they don't really have enough receivers to cut him necessarily. I think
we have Sean Ryan, sir. Yeah, we do.
I think that Jalen Armour-Davis and Damarian Williams are going to get cut. At least one of them, but I'm guessing both. Malik Ham, I think, is going to get cut.
I think so.
And you know what? I'm gonna stick with Tylan. I'm gonna say Tylan's gone.
I had Tylan on my list. I had Tylan on my list. I had Jalen Armour-Davis. He's definitely cut. I think for some reason the team still has hope in Pepe, but he may be gone as well. I think teetering on the edge, maybe Daniel Fa'alele. Like, I don't think that he's. I like him.
He can't be. You don't have any backup tackles.
Okay, is not having any backup tackles better than having a horrible one? Because Ronnie Stanley's been hurt for years, and they never brought in a backup left tackle.
I know, and look how well that's worked out for you.
And yet, and still, look what we did this offseason in this draft.
Yeah, remember how it looked when you didn't have any backup tackles after you traded Orlando Brown and you had to go get Villanueva.
Mm-hmm. So my question is, what did they learn from that?
He's not Villanueva.
Right.
He's better than that.
Salah, he's probably practice squad, but they're probably gonna force the issue and make Voorhees a starter. That's the direction that they're looking. That's how it's looking like they're pushing them in the direction of, well, we got such a great value out of him, and how smart will we look if we make him a success story? If we take him off an injury during the offseason to starter the very next season and he plays well, how smart will EDC look? Now all the EDC haters are going to have to get off his back, right? But conversely, what if it goes terribly wrong?
Mm-hmm.
What if there's a turnstile just back and forth headed to Lamar, like, tag, you're it. You're next. Who needs a sack? You need a sack? You get a sack. Then what happens then? Then everybody's going to make the excuse of, well, he's a young player just coming off an injury. We need to cut him a break and give him an extra year. He should have been resting this year because we do the same song and dance each and every season. You guys sit there and say, oh, we drafted a player that was injured. It's okay. He'll come back next year. He comes back the next year and he plays and he doesn't play well. And it's, well, he needed an extra year to get himself together. Then he comes back the year after that and doesn't do well. And it's like, he's still recovering. Let's give him one more year. And we keep going with this repetitive cycle. And we keep doing this with player after player, and we're not getting anywhere. That is my biggest problem. It's not that we don't like the organization's front office. It's just that when are you going to learn certain things that you're doing with certain players? They're not working. And listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't work Villanueva. If your own team doesn't want you and they're glad to let you go to a division rival, what does that say? They're like, yo, we'll send him.
Nobody in Baltimore wanted to answer the question of why this Pro Bowl left tackle is getting let go by a team who needs a left tackle. And then why nobody else wanted to sign a Pro Bowl left tackle in a league where offensive linemen are incredibly difficult to come by. All you do is you got an all pro.
All right.
But whatever.
It's whatever.
It'll be Lamar's fault.
Yeah. Once again, it was Lamar's fault that he got blindsided and he fumbled in the playoff game because his offensive line wasn't blocking for him.
Yeah, it'll just be throw the ball faster. Why are you holding the ball so much? Why don't you run? They'll trot out the greatest hits.
Yeah. So what your receivers aren't getting over? Throw the ball anyway.
Check it down to famously awesome at receiving Derrick Henry.
Well, still some time to get some people. For me, I had Tyler Wallace on my cut list, on the bubble list. I just think his pass blocking is becoming an issue. And they're trying to get younger. And it's the last year of his deal. So he's an unrestricted free agent after the season. And I just think they may be like, oh, we can get somebody else to come in and do what you do. I'm not saying anyone can do it, but anyone can come in and get you 300 yards, fumble 3 times, and miss a bunch of blocks. Like, I could pay anybody to do that. I had Tyler Wallace on the cut list. I just think that the Ravens aren't keeping 7 receivers. And being that they have Deontay Hardy, he's the odd man out because special teams is going to be his claim to fame. And it's going to be his claim to fame. And now that we have somebody else returning, he's out of here. One that might be a surprise are Darius Washington. Now, I know, Brodny, you told me last season he wasn't going to make the team, and I said, Brodny, he's making the team. I know you said he wasn't, and he did. But this is the season I think that he is actually going to be on the bubble, being that he cannot stay healthy. He's only played in 8 games, and he's been decent when he's come in. He just cannot stay healthy. So,
Yeah. Robert says Lamar got slim again so he could run again. And I don't know if I'm going to be the first to inform you that Lamar once again led the team in rushing last year. So he didn't stop running. He is still the most prolific runner in Baltimore. But yeah, all right. Yeah. I guess he's slim again. Yeah. I guess he was fat last season.
Okay, well, listen, Coach, you jumped the gun. Let's talk about Joey D.
I mean, I don't. Why? What do you want to talk about him?
Let's not talk about him now.
I'm not. What about him? What do you want to?
Nothing, man. I want to talk about Joe Evans. Let's talk about Joe Evans. Let's talk about how John Harbaugh said he's the next hard R Ricard.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I would give John Harbaugh a 10-year extension right now if he said he's the next hard R Ricard.
Those are the words I heard.
If he used those specific words
verbatim,
I would say give him an extension.
There is an article on a Ravens publication. Mm-hmm. It states John Harbaugh thinks Joe Evans can become the next hard R Ricard. He's an outside linebacker that can play tight end and fullback.
I'm willing I'm just gonna go out on a way out on a limb because I don't know Joe Evans.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess he can't do any one of those things. Not at
So
an NFL level.
at an NFL level?
Yeah.
So you're telling me, because I have something here, he's a part of this. The Baltimore Ravens signed 22 unrestricted, undrafted free agents.
Yeah.
Undrafted free agents. They signed 22 undrafted free agents. He was one of those. So you're telling me because no team drafted him, he doesn't have a shot, B? Listen,
I
Hard
didn't say he
Ricard
doesn't
went
have a
undrafted.
shot. I didn't say he doesn't have a shot. I'm just saying I'm betting that he can't do any of those three things that you said. That's
Play
all.
outside linebacker, fullback, or tight end.
Yeah. I'm guessing he can't do any one of them.
What would make you say these things? Because listen, hold on, because I was told that these undrafted free agents were going to come in and save the Ravens' future. Like they were going to turn the season around and make this team go from amazing to unbeatable. These free agents were going to come in, kick butt, take names, steal jobs, and make us the best team in NFL history. This was somebody actually said on Twitter. Somebody said
So
that.
I don't drink at all, as you know, right? So I've never been drunk. But you tell me if it sounds like this is an accurate assessment that like the draft is going out drinking and then afterwards when we have to talk about stuff like this is the hangover. 'Cause that's what it feels like right now. I don't like this. And I don't ever want to do the draft again if we have to do this after the draft. But then every year we do the draft and then we do this.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
We haven't played a game yet.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
It's bad times.
Bad times. Bad times. But it's going to get better because either next week, hopefully, don't quote me on this, either next week or the week after that, the NFL is going to release a schedule. So that's going to give us a little bit to talk about. We can talk about who the Ravens play, when the Ravens play them, the matchups. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the Ravens and the Chiefs start the season off. I think that would be
I don't think you want that.
I do.
I don't think you're going to want that when it happens.
Why not?
Because I think they'll blow you out if that happens.
Really?
Yeah.
Game one.
Yeah. I think that, I'm not saying that Baltimore is going to be a bad team, but I'm saying that if you roll out there with an entirely new defensive staff, a guy calling the plays who has never done it in Zach Orr, who's never been a defensive coordinator, and then on the flip side, you have an offensive line with three guys who have never started before, that it's going to get ugly in game one against the team who's won 3 out of the last 4 Super Bowls.
They kind of said the same thing last season when Kansas City took on the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Who won that game?
Detroit won that game because Kansas City had guys who cannot catch the football. They rectified that this offseason.
Oh, I thought you forgot about that.
Okay. Yeah,
I thought you forgot about that. But they just lost their best corner.
But they also rectified that by trading up in the draft and drafting a receiver.
Touche,
kind of the opposite of what Baltimore did.
Touche, Brodny. Touche. I still would like that to be the first game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That way, we know one way or another. Are we ready to compete with Kansas City, or do we have to get better? Like, I think that game will do a lot for the season to tell us going forward, because I don't want games versus the Washington Commanders, the Cleveland Browns, the New York Giants, and then the Ravens start off 3-4-5-0, and everybody's like, undefeated Super Bowl. And then we run into the Chiefs, and it's a different story. This way, early on, we know what's going to happen. We know what our deficiencies are. We know what we need to do to get better, because their team has to come together too offensively. They're bringing in all new receivers. Rashee Rice may be going to halfway house for a minute. Might miss the start of the season. Don't know.
Yeah, they're talking about maybe half a season suspension for him.
Really?
Yeah, but that would still leave Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown and Travis Kelce for y'all to deal with, which wouldn't be great.
Travis Kelce just got a new contract too.
Yeah, it was like a 3-year extension, I believe.
Out of nowhere. I
honestly thought he was going to be retired after this year.
No, Nana. We have all of our games. It's not most of them. We've had all of our games up until the point They fill the spots when they find out what position you're in during the previous season. So since we finished with first and had a first place schedule, it was 2 games that they added in. The schedule essentially, as far as the teams that we play, it's been out for a minute. Like it's been out for a minute. It's just they haven't put them in order.
The actual schedule. It's just
not the actual dates. Yeah, all the spots have been filled. Yeah. What's going on, Osmond? Appreciate you showing up. We're about to get up out of here, though. Yeah. One last thing. I think we have one last thing to talk about.
Do we?
Yeah. The biggest news of the weekend. A former Raven signs with a new team.
Are you referring to Odell Beckham Jr.?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I was scared for a minute because some weeks ago, Tyreek Hill, he tweeted out, yeah, Odell Beckham's in the house. Let's run it. Odell Beckham tweeted out, I don't remember signing with nobody. And then there was speculation that Odell was coming back to the Baltimore Ravens. This is why I have an issue with this front office. Odell just signed with the Miami Dolphins for 1 year, $3 million. Last season, around this time, there was speculation that Odell was going to the Jets for 1 year, $4 million. Somehow the Ravens came in 1 year, $15 million. I'm not understanding. How do you donate? There is a pin link in the comment section. Go to the pin link, do your thing, and Lamar Jackson will dance right here. He'll do his thing. So what? I mean, you need to put context to whatever you're asking. I don't know. What's up, Chef? I think we'll play the Chiefs during the middle of the season, and we will be a primetime game. It's possible. It's possible. I know a lot of people are pushing for the Chiefs to play the Houston Texans. Why? How come we can't be the dominant team and go and impose our will on Kansas City?
Because of your GM and coach.
Touche. I was thinking the same thing, Chris. I was thinking Odell's going to go to Miami and ball out. But
no, it's not.
But he's not being asked to be a number 1 receiver, though. That's the difference. He's asking to be number 3. And then I think if Chain comes back and they throw to him out the backfield, he may not even have to be the number 3 option. What feels like what? Oh, AB was a little more talented at that stage of his career. Yes.
AB could still play at a pretty high level. Odell, I think, is completely past it.
Facts. I'm guessing this is from my man Osmond.
It says anonymous.
But he just asked, and of course,
it's from anonymous.
Shout out to anonymous. You want to put in the comment section to have something read out loud, just let me know. But it says from anonymous. We know who it's from.
Jeez, man.
Bro, he just asked. He said, Brodny, spot on. Is this a chat complain show? Like, you come in here asking people, you're complaining about people complaining. Make that make sense. Nobody asked you to come.
You're right. Andrew Voorhees is Quentin Nelson, bro. Thanks for coming by.
They should have kept Odell for another $15 million. You're right. Like, people, like, if you don't like something,
fair if you had gotten Stephon Diggs, right? Like, you already have 5 of the best receivers in the NFL.
What else could we do? We could have said, skip that defense. Let's go get Dalton Rosner. Let's go get Andrews Pete for this offensive line instead of trying out some guys that never played. Ben Cleveland that almost got cut, and we now believe he's that guy. You're right, Jerome. Let's not question anything that the Ravens front office does, because they're always right in everything that they do. Even though we go to the playoffs every year and lose the same exact way, and we keep making the same personnel decisions every season, then we go to the postseason and lose the same exact way. No, let's not question that. Let's not be individuals and say, hey, maybe I don't think this is right. Let's follow everything and ride everything that the Ravens front office does. How about that? Is that enough complaining for you? I can't stand people that complain about somebody else complaining. Make that make sense. Well, I'm complaining about you because you're complaining about them. It's the dumbest shit I ever heard. It's like, yo, like for real. You complained about somebody else complaining. How stupid does that sound?
Pretty stupid, for being honest. But listen, the Ravens are still gonna be the truth. Okay.
When was the last time the Ravens went to the Super Bowl? When was the last time the Panthers went to the Super Bowl? Oh, but I guess
Like,
we're going off of regular season success. We're bragging because we've had bigger regular season records than the Panthers have. But they've been to a Super Bowl a lot sooner than we have. It's been more recent.
Lamar is about to tie your
Prescott?
number of playoff wins with the number of his MVP trophies. That's not an easy thing to do, bro. You only do that if you fail spectacularly in the playoffs many years in a row. Like,
but let's give them a thumbs up on all the moves that they're making because regular season they're killing it.
The truth. When was the last time they won a Super Bowl, Jerome? When was it? And then tell me what the truth is. Because again, the last I checked, and I could be wrong, but the last I checked, the Kansas City Chiefs won 3 out of the last 4. Is that not correct?
So I would assume Kansas City's doing something right.
I would assume so as well. And I think if we're going to call somebody the truth, it would probably be the team that's doing all of the goddamn winning, right? Not the team that's going to the playoffs and essentially kicking 4 field goals and saying we out.
Deuces, y'all. Justin Tucker. You know what I'm saying? Like it's amazing how people don't want us questioning what they do. But, and I hate to say it, like Bradley just said, the Kansas City Chiefs, they lost their best cornerback. L'Jarius Sneed was considered one of the best corners in the league. And in the first round, they traded up to get a wide receiver. I wonder why. Because scoring wins in the NFL now. Scoring is how you win Super Bowls, and they've won 3 of the last 4. Us, we've averaged, and I hate to say it again, 13 points per game in the playoff.
Y'all have Lamar Jackson. What kind of bullshit comment is this, Robert? You have Lamar Jackson. He was the MVP of the league last year. But they win because Pat Mahomes and you can't win?
Bruh, you say that the Ravens are 90% better than, you're better than 90% of the other teams in the league. They're not winning Super Bowls. So can you really say that? You can say, yes, the Ravens are regular season warriors. You can say that 100%. But saying that they're better than somebody, are they winning championships? No.
Jerome, there's one goal in professional sports, bro. It's to win the championship. And y'all haven't even been serious contenders for that since Lamar's been in the league.
Facts. Shout out to Anonymous for the $5 tips. That was just me saying thanks. I still don't know who you are. But I'll find that one. I'll find out.
Pat Mahomes is better than Lamar. Cool. Is Pat Mahomes the only person who's won a Super Bowl since Lamar and Pat have been in the league?
Right. I can remember one of those years.
I'm pretty sure he lost one of those Super Bowls.
I can remember one of those years that Nick Folk won.
I remember one year Pat didn't even get to the Super Bowl. Some team with Joe Burrow got there.
Right. So somebody other than Patrick Mahomes went to a Super Bowl, and it wasn't the Ravens.
Wow.
Like, let's stop living off of regular season success. Listen, regular season success is wonderful. It gives you something to brag about when it comes to other fan bases. Because when I talk to my Pittsburgh Steelers friends, I love saying, haha, we had a winning record. Y'all didn't. Well, yeah, they had a winning record because that's what they do. But we went to the playoffs. Y'all didn't. That's all fine and dandy. But there comes a time when you have to account for, yes, we go to the playoff year after year after year after year, but we're not winning. And it's not that we're not winning. It's that we're losing the same way. I can see, Jerome, you're new to the channel, but I did this study so many times. The Ravens since 2019 have averaged 13.2 points per game in the playoffs. 13.2 points. Take out the Houston Texans game, they averaged 9.9 points per game in the playoffs. Now, you would say, we can't score in the playoffs. What about defensively? Well, defensively, the Ravens have given up 13.9 points per game. So they're giving up under 2 touchdowns per game in the playoffs. But every season we go into the draft, we draft defensive help. Make that make sense. Don't score in the playoffs, but we're going to keep getting defenders. We're going to keep drafting cornerbacks and edge rushers and safeties. Yet and still, we're not scoring in the playoffs. This is all that we're saying is try something different. If it's not working for you, do something different.
Hey, Robert, do you think Joe Burrow is better than Pat Mahomes? Because he got to the Super Bowl one of those years, right? You don't have to have Pat Mahomes to win. Even if you think he is far and away the best quarterback, blah, 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 you can still beat him if you build your team properly. Baltimore hasn't done that. That's the point.
Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl.
Sure
Matthew
did.
Stafford. Somebody called him a fraud, but Jalen Hurts went to a Super Bowl. We named one team. We named more than one team. We named more. Let's see. The Eagles went. The Bengals went. The Rams went. It's a bunch of teams. Nick Folks, like he's a backup quarterback. He went. What are you saying? Listen, 2019, 2023. We had 2 seasons where the Ravens had the best roster in the NFL. 2 seasons. Did we make it to a Super Bowl to lose?
And you say we're talking about the draft and not the Super Bowl. What's the point of the draft, Jerome?
Right.
And I do think that, and this isn't just a Baltimore, just a Jerome thing. A lot of people kind of look at these things as different, different events, and look at them in a vacuum. The entire point is to push the team forward so that they can win a Super Bowl. You drafted a corner. You're not doing that. That's why we're negative on the draft, right? Because you've had the same problems every year. You go to the playoffs and your offense can't score. And now this year, you had an O-line and you lost 3 of the starters on the O-line. 2 of them left in free agency. 1 of them you traded, and you haven't replaced them. You had a problem in the wide receiver room ever since Lamar's been in the league. You haven't fixed it. We're crazy. Who are your starting 5 on the O-line? Tell me right now.
We'll wait.
Tell me that you know who the starting 5 on the O-line.
You have an MVP quarterback,
and that they can play. Go ahead and tell me that.
You have an MVP quarterback. MVP quarterback. Who's blocking for him? And I'll sit here and wait. He's going to say Stanley. He's going to say Linderbaum. So you only got to name 3 more spots. 3 spots. And this is the problem that we have is it's a guessing game. When you have an MVP at quarterback, when you have a franchise quarterback, there should be no guessing game about who's blocking for him. Who are his weapons? You don't have this issue with any other star quarterbacks, franchise quarterbacks in the leagues, but Lamar Jackson. He's the only one that you have to question. Well, this guy, he may be coming off a serious injury, but he may have been a 2nd-round pick in the NFL draft. Well, this guy, he's looked good in the spot duty that we had him, and he played well in the last game of the season. We shouldn't go into a season saying maybe well. We did that with wide receiver. We said Rashad Bateman, Tyler Wallace, James Prochet, and Devin Duvernay, they're going to lead us in receiving. Let the young boys cook. That failed miserably. And y'all just swept that under the rug. Like, no, we didn't say that. We didn't say that. That's cool. I mean, we'll just go sign somebody this all season. We're wasting time. Then we're going to be 10 years down the line, and it's going to be like, well, Lamar should have won the Super Bowl. He should have, if you would have given him the weapons and the personnel that he needed to get it done. That's all that we're saying. Do better. You drafted defense all this time. You've gone into free agency and paid big money to defense all of this time. All we're saying is try something different. If it doesn't work, hell, fuck it. We tried. We did what we could, but it didn't work. But they're not doing it. They're going defense, defense, defense. Let's draft a guy who's not even going to start this year. He's going to start a couple years down the road. And then we're going to get somebody to replace the person that he replaced the very next year. We just keep going through this repetitive cycle.
Robert, there are 6 names on your list. Try again. and Aaron, I didn't even want to get into this. I didn't even want to get into this. Part of what makes Pat so great is his coach. Andy Reid is an offensive genius and does not outsmart himself. But you can't argue that with Ravens fans. Ravens fans came into this very stream and told us that Lamar should have been a top quarterback. He should have been the entire run game, and he needed to call better plays. Lamar,
you did say that. The dude did say he needed to call better plays. Offensive coordinator, quarterback, running back. He even throws it to himself. But the thing is, it's amazing how he can get and hold all of this responsibility and the weight of failure. But the front office and
That's
organization,
incredible because this show ain't been on for years.
just
But
it is. Let's see what y'all did. We was pulled it out of here like 15 minutes ago.
I don't know, Jerome will plant.
But it's all good. It's all good. Listen, that's what the show is about. It's about debate. It's about talking. It's about stating how you feel. We don't agree with everything that the Ravens do, and a lot of people don't agree with the things that we say. It is what it is. That's what all this is about. Stating your opinion, letting people know how you feel about things. And I truly believe whether you are on one side of the fence or the other, you don't always have to go for everything that the organization does because it's not always going to be right. And my biggest problem is if it hasn't worked, if 2019, 2020, 2022, 2023, 2020, well, maybe 2024, if it has not worked, why do we keep doing the same thing? You can only bang your head against the wall so many times and say this door ain't going to open.
You skipped 2021 too.
Well, we didn't make the playoffs in 2021.
I know, but you should have. If this is the team that everybody keeps saying it is, right? Because look in your own division. Cleveland made the playoffs last year without Deshaun Watson, right?
True.
Pittsburgh made the playoffs last year without a quarterback, period.
True.
But when Baltimore doesn't have Lamar, they can't win.
But I was told
because they're so well built.
But what I was told was this defense is so awesome, it's championship level. So what you're telling me is when Lamar got hurt in 2021, the Ravens were 8-3 or so, 8-3, and he left the beginning of the game. So the championship level defense should have carried the team to a playoff berth, right? Since defense wins championships. Or am I wrong about that? Because that's what they keep saying.
I don't know. Nobody's telling you to not root for your team. Nobody's saying that.
What we trying to do?
No one once said don't root for your team. Root for them. You don't have to agree with everything that they do. Like you ain't got a brain in your head.
Facts. What we trying to? We're not trying anything new, Jerome. That's my point. We can't score in the playoffs, but yet and still, every offseason when we get to the draft and free agency, we're out here signing defenders. They're giving up under 2 touchdowns per game in the playoffs. How much more do you want this defense to do? Do you want them to give up 10 points? Do you want them to give up no points? Sometime during this time we have Lamar Jackson, the offense is going to have to score if we want to win a championship. That's all we're saying. Don't go out here and draft a corner in the first round. Surround Lamar with an offensive line and bring in guys that can play. Stop saying maybe. We hope he can. We think he looks like it. No, get somebody who's like, yo, he can. CJ Stroud. They're like, yo, he's a baller. And when I got him Stephon Diggs. We could have got Stephon Diggs 3 separate times, and we'd let him go each and every time saying, why would we do that? We got a Nelson Aguilar. Yeah. Thank you.
I don't need to hate on Nelson Aguilar, man.
I'm not hating on Nelson Aguilar, but my point being is that we take the cheap route and say, you know what? He's going to work out just fine for us, while other teams are being aggressive saying, look, this is what we need. Listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers have 2 new quarterbacks, don't know who the starter is going to be, and they're out here trying to get DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson, and who else? T. Higgins. They're trying to surround whomever their quarterback is going to be with talent to make him more successful. They listen, like it or not, and if y'all don't want to believe this, the Steelers have put together an awesome line these last 3 seasons. Like they in free agency and through the draft, they built an offensive line that 3 seasons ago you would have been like, getting somebody killed.
I'm sorry, but this is kind of my problem with the Ravens fans here. He says all the linemen were gone this year, and who said we want Diggs diva ass? One, Diggs is better than every receiver that has ever played in Baltimore, with the exception of Anquan Bolden.
Facts. Ever.
And people keep wanting to say all the linemen were gone, and then they want to turn around and tell you got a day 1 starter or right tackle in the 2nd round. Make it make fucking sense, Jerome. Were they all gone, or did you get a day 1 starter in round 2? You let me know. Okay. And by the way, there's no rule that says you got to sit where you're at and wait for all the linemen. Everybody knew there was going to be a run on linemen. It's a deep lineman class. All the linemen are going to get drafted. Trade up. Don't draft a goddamn quarterback and in the 7th round or 5th round in an injured center. Take a couple picks, move up.
Move up.
Linemen.
What is it? And when was the Ravens in the Super Bowl? They weren't. But here's the thing: they're making progress to get to that. They knew that their weakness was offensive line, and they're making moves. They knew that their weakness was cornerback. They made moves. If they don't make it, they don't make it. But they tried. Our weakness every season, every year we go into a season, we need a wide receiver, we need an edge, and we need a cornerback. Every season, we fill the edge needs, we fill the cornerback needs. I don't really see us too much filling the wide receiver or offensive line needs. We don't think it's the cheapest option.
This is exactly my problem with Ravens fans. Some goddamn losers. Why aren't you complaining that you can't win a Super Bowl? What's the point, Robert? Why are you a Ravens fan if you don't want to win a Super Bowl? Why do you root for anybody?
Right. And you have the best team in the league twice. You have the best roster in the league, the best record in the league, and you're not rooting for a Super Bowl. So we're content with mediocrity. We're content with, they got to win a record every season. Some teams base their level of success on championships. Not getting to the championship game, winning championships. Our level of success is being able to brag that we had a good regular season.
Mm-hmm.
That's not winner mentality. Right. And my thing is, even if for me, even if we gave the best effort we had and we lost, I'm cool with that. You can't win them all. But when you go in every season and they keep saying, John Harbaugh, you gonna run the ball? The wind's blowing. I'm not running the ball today. And you lose the exact same way. And you don't make any changes. You don't surround your quarterback with anyone that's going to help lessen the burden off of him. And a lot of people are going to say, well, they brought in Derrick Henry. Yeah, a couple years too late, but let's hope that Derrick Henry can be who Derrick Henry was. And even still, even if he's the Derrick Henry of old, that's one piece. They drafted Zay. Cool. Hope he makes that jump to his second year to become that wide receiver. But outside of that, what did you put around Lamar to help him score points? Or is it still on him once again? Because I still hear a lot of people saying, well, Lamar needs to run the ball more. He's a fucking quarterback. Why does he need to run the ball more? It should be an accentuation to his game. Like, Lamar's out here carving up if he has to run, not he needs to. These are the expectations that we put on Lamar Jackson, but we don't put these same expectations on the front office. We don't put these same expectations on the head coach. Lamar is just heading above the reason that we lose, but listening to a lot of y'all, he's never the reason that we win. It's always the coaching and the defense. That's the reason why we win these games. But when we lose, Lamar should have did more. Lamar could have been that guy. I mean, he's making all his money. He's the reason we can't sign other players. It's not the $70 million safety. It's not the $98 million defensive tackle. It's not the $100 million off-ball linebacker. It's the quarterback. So if somebody questions something, they're complaining. That's my only thing. If somebody questions something, they're complaining. So somebody says, I don't understand why the team did this. That's complaining. And this is how they got you brainwashed to think that you shouldn't question anything. I'm sure you're the same dude that goes in and doesn't read warning labels and just signs off saying, I read this. I didn't read it, but I'm check. I read it. And then something happens and you're like, well, you got me. It's just that I just don't follow everything that's told to me. The Ravens had an A+ draft. Yeah, they didn't. We don't know what the Ravens had because they haven't played a fucking game yet.
And Jerome, I mean, honestly, congrats on not complaining, bro. I mean, you've been doing it for the past 20 minutes, but congrats on being a guy who doesn't complain. We appreciate that.
Listen, what is the day? Today is May 5th. May the 5th. Today is May the 5th, 2024. From this day forth, and I'm saying it for this channel, I can't speak for anybody else's channel, but from this day forth for this channel, I'm going to start to need to see y'all badges. Since the fan police love coming out and telling people what they should and shouldn't be doing, before y'all start speaking to anybody in here, you have to identify yourself as a cop. You have to let people know that you're the fan police and how people should fandom. You should be a fan like this, and you should say this and not say that. No, be positive about everything. Let me know if you're a cop before you come in here. If I ask you if you're a cop, you got to tell me you're a cop. Fan police, you have been warned. What's up, bro? So, Agnes. Nah, we just come in here. We just come in here and have fun. Like, it ain't even that serious to us. I don't understand why a lot of y'all get so mad about stuff because it ain't that serious. Well, it ain't that serious to me. But I still need to see a badge, though. I'm not playing about that. I'm dead ass serious. Like, I'm not even joking with that. Since y'all like to tell people how they should fandom, I need to see your credentials. I need to see your diploma, your degree. I need your credentials to tell me how I should fan.
And honestly, I mean, and this goes to Jerome and anybody who feels like Jerome. Why do you watch anything in May relating to the Baltimore Ravens? For what? The team already told you how to feel about it. Just feel that way until September.
Right.
Who cares what anybody says about it?
Right.
If you don't want to hear anybody question any of the moves, I mean, you can walk around and cheerlead in your own goddamn head all day. Why do you need to listen to somebody else do it?
Because I need confirmation that I'm right about how I think.
Well, whatever.
I can see them walk. I see, you know what? I just picture them walking around like the Wizard of Oz. We represent the lollipop kids, the lollipop kids. Validation, yay!
I just don't understand. Like, I'm not telling you that you need to change the way you feel about the Ravens. Don't tell me that I need to change the way that we talk about the Ravens.
There's no Jose. Facts. It's like, I just come here to get some stuff off my mind, and people always come in here telling me what I need to do and what I need to say.
That dude was like, I watched the draft and I thought we had a great draft. And then I read ESPN's summary of the draft and they said we had a great draft. So I went to The Athletic and they said we had a great draft. So then I went to a few other podcasts and they said we had a great draft. And I come here and I hear different.
What is wrong with you guys? You got to question everything that they do? Everything? No, I won't question a Super Bowl win. I'll never question that. And yeah, like, yo.
Hey, Drum, do you think that was a well coached AFC Championship game you went to? Just curious.
Nah, you know what? You know what, Brodny? We fell for the trap.
Yeah,
we fell for the trap, Rodney. We supposed to be out here 40 minutes ago.
I know.
Yeah, we fell for the trap. We fell for the okie doke.
Yes, I know. That's why I don't listen to you when you talk about, it's gonna be quick.
Bro,
I know what I'm in for.
First and foremost, if you rewind it, you will see I was sitting here quiet and calm, and then you went off the hinges. And once you went off the hinges, I went off the hinges, and it just started the snowball effect, and we just kept going and going and going. Because I was sitting here looking at the timer, like, yo, we only got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. And then Brodny being Brodny. What we talking about?
I'm not gonna put that on me.
What we're talking about, Jose, is somebody complained to us that we're complaining. And for the last 20 minutes, they've been complaining to us about complaining, saying we should be complicit in everything that the Ravens have done and just co-sign all the moves that they made. And why are we talking about the draft when it comes to the Ravens winning the Super Bowl? Because the draft has nothing to do with the team being a winner or changing the fortunes of their team and everything like that. And we should just be happy with regular season success. Like, we should be happy that the Ravens are winning between 10 to 13 games a year.
Because they're the truth.
Man, ain't no Jerome. Listen, you said you're not new to the show. Ain't no reason to be mad, bro. Like, this is all entertainment.
I just asked if it was a well-coached game, Jerome. I understand that goes against your code of ethics complaining about it, but be honest, man.
You know what? Where's my book at? Where's my Just came up with an idea.
You just go pull out a notebook and start writing notes in the middle of a live stream. That's what we're gonna do. That's how we do it now.
I got him old. I gotta write stuff down when I think about it.
Jerome, you broke Hendo, man.
You broke me, bro. You broke me.
Write it before you forget, Hendo.
Okay, man. Make badges for patrons.
There you go.
Now, my patrons are gonna have fandom badges. That's and right. They can tell people what to do. Take that. I'm dead serious. Like, you laughing, I'm dead serious. I gotta find somebody to make me some badges. And them
Hey,
police.
hey, Jerome, what does me being a Ravens fan have to do with you not believing that was a well-coached AFC Championship game? Or do you think that he did a good job? Which is it? I'm just asking. I've asked you a few questions. You haven't found
You
a way
haven't
to
answered.
answer any of them.
You never.
But this one I wanted an answer because you don't want to complain. So I just want to know how you felt about the way they coached that AFC Championship game.
If I'll find my glasses, I'm not. Like, I don't know how I wrote this. I'm telling you, bro, don't get old, y'all. It sucks.
But also get old because I mean the alternative is not great.
That's true too. Don't be a kid forever.
It doesn't suck as much as Hendo is. I mean, it sucks though. It does.
Bruh, growing up, perfect eyesight. Perfect eyesight. Now, I swear, don't hand me anything with a little writing on it.
But you know, one day I fell on my back. Right? I fell down. Like I was because I was like, hey, I've been walking for nearly 40 years. Surely I can walk back down these stairs, right? But I missed the step. Because I thought I was on the first step, but I was on the second step. I fell flat on my back, and I'm so old that I somehow scraped my knee. I fell flat on my back, and I was like, "Why is my knee bleeding?"
Yeah,
Shit don't make no sense.
When you get old, just weird stuff just happens, bro. Like out of nowhere. Listen, somehow we made this an hour. How we go from 15 minutes to over an hour?
Oh, that's cool, Jerome. Appreciate it. Do you think that was a well-coached AFC Championship game?
It's a yes or no question.
You be doing a lot of typing, and none of it is yes or no.
Listen. Wow. How old am I? Ugh. You want the truth, or you want fake? You want the real? Like you want real age?
Yeah, do you want the number of years since he was born, or like when he stopped counting,
or the number in my head? So yeah, if you want the real number, in January I turned 49.
He's old. God damn, for real?
Yes, I turned.
Oh wow, okay, you're older than I thought.
But huh?
So you're older than I thought.
But I have a co-host somewhere that's older than hip hop.
There's an expiration date on this show. Cause I ain't hosting no show with no goddamn 50-year-old.
Please listen. Please do. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Are you going, Jerome? That'd be awesome, man. Send pics.
Don't threaten me with a good time, sir. If we make the Super Bowl, great. If Voorhees works out and he's the tackle that everybody thinks, I mean the guard that everybody thinks he's going to be, and it works out, great. None of us want these people to fail. None of us want these people to fail. But it's just that let's not sit here and say, oh, it was a great move. They stole a second-round talent in the 7th round, and we now expect him to be the starter without ever playing it down in the NFL. That to me is crazy. I don't give a damn what sport it is or what team it is. That's just crazy to me. I don't see this complaining. I see that as saying, what rational GM would say, I'm taking a dude from the gutter and putting him in the penthouse and expecting him to act accordingly.
So like what you're saying is you wouldn't be on board if, for example, your GM said, Bronny James is going to lead us to an NBA championship. He had the heart thing. Otherwise, he'd be a top 5 pick. And we got him late first round. And now champions.
Yeah. I like Bronny, though.
You say you hate Bronny? That's not nice.
I like Bronny.
Oh, I thought you said hate. I'm sorry.
I really like Bronny. Like,
well, you're going to be mad when he's a Laker next year.
I'm going to be upset when he's a Laker. But for some reason,
why would you be upset at seeing a young man being able to go into the NBA and play a season with his father? That's a beautiful thing.
Who? Oh no, I would love that. I don't like LeBron, but I think that's amazing. And I think
that's an incredible thing.
I hope Bronny comes in and does his thing. He doesn't have to be his father, but I hope that he comes in and makes an impact and plays a lot better than Marcus Jordan did. Like, I hope that he.
I mean, well, that's but you know what? I don't think it matters because I don't think LeBron is Michael Jordan in that sense because Michael Jordan's just an asshole, and you know.
I will give you that.
I'm sure he made him feel pretty terrible about how
I don't think he did.
I bet you he did. That's why you watch that documentary. Watch that documentary. Ain't none of his family in it, and his only friends are his paid security.
I mean, you might be right, but I'm just a Bronny fan. Listen, it's not that I don't dislike LeBron. I just don't like some of his. I don't like his antics. I don't like his antics. Like I think that this is just me. I think that LeBron got screwed. I think that LeBron has been screwed for years. He should have Oscars and Emmys for the performance that he gives out on that court.
Mm-hmm.
Like dudes that just do this and not even touch him. He's
all you're doing right now. All you're doing right now is describing NBA basketball.
Right, not the way LeBron does it.
You have multiple players on your favorite team who are far worse.
Oh no, they're worse by far. I can't hold you.
Exactly.
There's some bad people. And I don't want them there.
Draymond Green would be like, oh, somebody tapped me on my shoulder. I had to run 50 feet and kick you in the nuts. I can't control it.
No, but LeBron does take it too far. You have to admit that at least. Sometimes, I understand. Everybody
looks ridiculous because he's 6'9", 270, whatever he is. It looks ridiculous, but everybody does it. No, literally everyone.
But my point, Brodny, is it's one thing if somebody does this and doesn't hit you, and you're like, oh, and you trying to get the foul. I get that, but he lays on the floor for 5 minutes, rolling around.
Now you're
Dusty Rhodes just gave him the elbow to the skull.
Okay, first of all, you don't roll around after bionic elbow. You lay flat and you get pinned. But second, you're conflating LeBron with his teammate Anthony Davis, who I'm not going to defend. My man barely bumped Michael Porter, and he hugged himself and fell down motionless, face down on the court, only to not miss a single second of the game. So
it's learned behavior. It's learned behavior.
It is. And they learn from your boy Chris Paul.
I hope they trade him.
For what and to who? Who wants that guy?
Bruh. Bag of Lays. The truffle Lays are pretty damn good.
I'll buy my own, man.
I'm saying, like, y'all need a point guard.
No, we don't.
You sure?
First of all, LeBron plays point guard. Second of all, they drafted a point guard in the draft this past year,
and it didn't work out. That's why they got Spencer.
No, it's fine. Darvin Ham didn't let him play ever, which is why Darvin Ham is no longer an NBA coach.
What y'all gonna do with D'Angelo?
Fucking goddamn, man. I don't know. He might be in that package with Chris Paul. Send him wherever. Like,
we don't want him.
No, I'm saying, we got to get a third team involved, maybe a fourth. I don't know who wants that dude at this point, but not us.
Chris Paul back to the Clippers. Warriors get Chris Paul. Warriors get
You want D'Angelo?
No, the Warriors get Paul George.
For what?
Better than Chris Paul.
Yeah, have a good one, bro.
It'd be better than Chris George. I mean, than Chris Paul.
Listen, you can't get any of it right now.
I can't, bro.
You out here. We ain't talking about Roger Rosenthal.
I'm fading fast, bro. Like I'm trying to put together something that's feasible.
No, man.
Because the Warriors.
Listen, I'm saying D'Angelo, Austin, plus whoever else they want for Trae Young. Yeah, Blackwood.
Yeah, watching.
Yeah, those guys are hilarious.
Some of those guys are hilarious. You still want Trae Young?
No, they don't, MTD. No, they don't.
They don't. It's the best thing y'all got going. And even at 39 years old, with him supposedly your second best player, he still plays hella minutes and gives the most effort on the team. Even though he doesn't play defense. So yeah.
He does play defense.
At times. At times.
I mean, he's got to look. I'm not even gonna get mad at a 39-year-old trying to preserve himself. but when it's time to play defense, he plays defense.
I mean, he did that at 34. Like, it's something different.
That's old too, Hendo. Like all you're saying is, I can't believe how long this dude's been a great player.
Oh no, that's amazing. Listen, LeBron at this stage of his career is amazing, but he's still out there doing it. Like, I can't, even if you don't like LeBron, you have to respect him for his body of work. And you have to respect him for, at this advanced age at that sport, that he's still performing at this. He's performing better than some 20, 24-year-olds. But Anthony Edwards is coming. I can't hold y'all. Like, God damn, I watched that boy last night. Yeeks.
Anthony Edwards is coming, but he's too late because Victor's already here.
No, I think Anthony Edwards I think he's gonna be it.
He's not.
And it's surprising to me because when he was in the draft, they were questioning his love for the game. Like, they were thinking maybe not take him number 1 overall, because they were like, he don't care about basketball. He didn't even like basketball. And he was like, I love basketball. They was like, I don't know. And look at him now.
It is going to be incredibly entertaining watching Wembanyama, Edwards, and Luka all going at it. I wish at least one of them played in the East. That godforsaken wasteland.
Listen, I'm an AFC guy and I'm an East guy, but I root for a team in the West, and it's nothing to look forward to in the East right now. And it hasn't been for a while. Now, the only thing I can root for now is the Knicks to get beat.
NDT, you live in Cali and you're the biggest Lakers hater on the planet. Nobody believe a goddamn thing you say, bro. And also, LA and Cali contains about 10% of Lakers fans. That's a global team. They don't belong to you.
Yeah. Do you believe in OKC? I know that they're young and had the best record out west.
I believe in OKC in terms of, I think that they are a very good team, and I think that they are going to be a contender. I don't think that this is their year. I think they're too young right now. But they've got a ton of talent. Gilgeous-Alexander is an incredible player. And, I was wrong about Chet. Chet can ball.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have to see him and SGA singing in that commercial every 10 minutes. It's really irritating. But no, that team's for real. They're just not. It's not their time now.
All right. You know what I like? I don't like that commercial. I mean, I like seeing it every 5 minutes, but I do think that it's better than seeing Jimmy Butler singing in a commercial every 1.5 minutes, because he has like multiple commercials.
I'm taking Jimmy. Chet Holmgren looks like Chet Holmgren looks like a meth head.
But some of those are the most fun people.
Okay, but you're in tonight though. All right, so yeah, I think that we are done here. It's been over an hour,
hasn't it? It's been fun though.
And I shouldn't say that about Chet. That wasn't nice. I apologize, Chet.
See, he's a bad person.
I'm not a bad person. I just apologize.
So I can say things to you and just apologize, and it makes it okay?
No, because I actually mean it. It's a heartfelt.
I mean it too.
No, you don't. You're planning it beforehand. That means you don't mean it.
Touche. All right, let's get up out of here.
Yeah.
You want to send us off, Brodny?
Nope. Just hit end.
Bruh,
just let it stop. Let it be the end.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys. There's still 78 people in here. I really, really do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Listen, sometimes it may seem like we arguing with people. We're really not arguing with people. We're just having time. We're having fun. I hope you're having fun as well. And appreciate you for helping me and Brodny reach certain goals. We just keep growing, keep attaining. Hopefully we'll get to do more things with the channel. We're expanding. Like, we got some things in the works. And I really do appreciate you guys for being a part of everything that we do. And like I said, this is a community. We do everything together. If there are things that you wish for us to talk about, like, we can have segments where we don't have to talk sports. We can talk about anything, because Brodny loves to speak. Brodny loves giving out information. He loves giving out advice. Like, he is such a people person. I aspire to be him when I get older. So, yeah. Appreciate you, Nana.
I was going to leave that up through the credits.
I'm sorry. You're going to leave it to the credit. No need to apologize for you. Facts. Listen, the truth always works itself out. But my thing is, Brodny, like, you got the controls, bro. If you want to end the strain, just end the strain. Like,
all right, later.